Have you ever noticed it can be hard to get more than one subject when generating your images in Stable Diffusion? Ask for something seemingly as simple as a photo of a dog and a cat, and you might already have found that your results don't quite match what you asked for. Trying again with a photo of a dog and a cat, so that the word dog is closer to the front, the power of the word cat can be overcome by our canine friends, but even then it's still a little bit hit and miss. It can be even trickier when asking for two people together, such as George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Again, you'll find you often get two of exactly the same character, or they'll swap attributes, such as being bearded or clean-shaven. If only there was an easy way to have a cat and a dog generated in a single picture, where you'd be able to control exactly where the dog is and exactly where the cat is. If only you could generate an image with two people, perhaps one person wearing one outfit and a totally different person wearing another outfit. What about Composable Diffusion? Can't we use that? Well, my hybrid dog-cat loving nerds, yes you can, and it's all thanks to this Latent Couple extension. You all know how to install extensions by now, I'm sure, but just in case, all you need to do is go over to the Extensions tab and then on Available, click Load From, and that will give you a big list. Now, the two I'm showcasing here are called Latent Couple and Composable LoRA. Click Install on both of those, restart, and you'll have two new sections available to you. Both of these are going to help us take Composable Diffusion to the next level, especially when you combine them with things like ControlNet. If you want to learn more about ControlNet, there are a couple more videos you'll want to check out. Links are on screen and also down in the video description too. In Latent Couple, you can define areas for each subprompt of your Composable Diffusion prompt. If you want to learn more about Composable Diffusion, there is also a link for that down in the video description as well. The subdivisions are just boxes for now, but if this could be something like masks as well, that would be even more awesome. However, the simple boxes do work well, even if they can be a little bit fiddly to set up. Each of the three text input areas uses comma-separated pairs, with each of those pairs being separated by a colon, just like you can see on the screen now. There is also a slider which lets you control which step to end at. Ending at step 0 obviously does nothing, and the more steps you do, the more impact this Latent Couple section will have on your final image. If you click the Visualize button, then suddenly all those strange looking pairs should start to make sense. Here you can see there are three sections defined. One covers the whole region, then you've got a region on the left, and then one on the right. The lighter the colour, the more impact that area will have on your subprompt, as defined by the values in the weights section. I want just two areas for my example, and thankfully there is an extra generation parameters box down at the bottom there, which allows you to paste in all the settings in one go. This is very handy as there aren't any presets. So what I do is I keep lots of values saved in a text file for easy setup later. I can just paste them in here, click apply, and then that will put all the values in that I need. So for example, we've got one here, click that in, click apply, and I like to click visualize as well to see exactly what that does. And as you can see now, we've got two sections, a top section and a bottom section. You can also use non-integer values in there as well. So let's just move those sections around a bit. There we go. And now I've got it a little bit higher and a little bit lower there. So not so much up the top and lots of changing down the bottom. You can, of course, specify any sorts of areas you want. There's a slightly random example. So there we've got a box on the left and a little tiny box on the right. But for this example, I'm going to make it really simple and just divide it by 2. So there it is, apply, visualize. So I've just got a bit on the left and a little bit on the right. Scrolling up for my control nets, I've got a cat there on the left and a dog there on the right. They're both just using the Canny processor, but of course you can pick anything you like. Now, if we generate without that Latent Couple enabled, then what do we get? Yes, we get two cats. So even though it's quite clearly a picture of a dog there, and that's a cat, I've still got two cats. So how do we fix that? Well, yes, we turn it on. Enabled, there it is, and if we now run it through, then we've only got a picture of a cat. What's going on there? Well, that's because we've only got one prompt up here. Remember, we're using Composable Diffusion, so you need to use the word and. The first part of the subprompt is the first section, and the second part of your prompt there, that second subprompt, is the second part. So we'll have a cat on the left and a photo of a dog on the right. As you can see, it's also a useful way to remove parts of images. Now that we've got our prompt set up correctly and we're using Composable Diffusion with our nice capital "and" in there, this time when we generate, we'll get a cat on the left and a nice dog on the right. Ooh, excellent. Although they do both have the same fur. So yes, you will still get a little bit of mixy-matchy, but of course we can take this even further. So let's change this around a little bit so that this time we've got the dog on the left and the cat on the right. It's also going to be a terrier dog and a ginger tabby cat. Excellent. They've switched places exactly as I wanted, and they both look different as well. Do we want to take it even further still? Of course we do, because now it's also time for Composable LoRA to be enabled as well. This will let us apply 2 different LoRAs, one for each subprompt. If we scroll down here, we've got the Composable LoRA, and we just tick that enabled. It's best to leave those other 2 checkboxes disabled, but do feel free to experiment with them on. Back up with our prompt. In case you haven't noticed the extra networks icon here, click on that and you'll be able to discover where your LoRAs are. If you just click on one, then it will appear up there. So what I'm going to do here is redo our prompt so that we've got one LoRA on one side, one LoRA on the other, and regenerate there. So this time I should have a Vox Machina style anime cute terrier dog and a photo of a high resolution ginger tabby cat. Whoa, that's a good job I was holding on to my... Anyway, can we take it further still? Of course we can. Given that we can now control exactly what we want in specific areas of our image, this allows us to create all sorts of strange things, such as lovely cursed portraits with 2 half faces. As you can see there, I've got Abraham Lincoln on the left and Boudica on the right. So your imagination really is the limit here. As you can see, you now have even more control than ever over all of your compositions. If you'd like to learn even more about Composable Diffusion, then do check out this video.